What's up, guys? You may have noticed if you're driving down the old National Road, Route 40 outside of Pataskala, Ohio, this big building that looks like an airplane hangar. Well, guess what? We don't have airplanes in there. This is Cory G Fitness, and I'm Coach Myers. We want to take you on a tour of our gym, the Old School Gym.
Welcome to Old School. Let's go.
We're locked out of our own gym. I'm not going to complain about it though.
Take two.
Because there's no whining at this gym.
Yes.
There we go.
I love it.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
So before we even really get into it, I'm gonna stop y'all right here because this kind of started when we were like 16 or 17 years old in Dustin's dad's garage. If you see right here, this is us competing in our first powerlifting meet at 17 years old. So right there is where it all kind of started. It's that fire, it's that competition, it's that real work, it's that literally throwback mentality that we've been competing against each other, you know, for healthy competition for all these years. And as the industry has continued to get softer and softer, we kept throwing it back even further, right, D?
That's right. You know, it kind of started as a concept of like, hey, let's make it just a bigger version of my dad's garage. And you know, at one time, like that didn't really seem realistic. But then, like you said, the softer the industry gets, the more we really got to just stick to our roots and, you know, provide a real gym atmosphere to people to train because that's not really available anymore.
Yeah, everybody's so concerned about what they're wearing, who they're talking to, and where they're being seen at. We don't care about any of that stuff. We just care about hard work. We got all walks of people that come through the gym, and at the end of the day, it's all positive, but it's all rooted in real sweat and real work, and that's what Old School is all about. So
let's show them some of the kind of unique equipment we got here.
Well, first off, you gotta check the hardware out. This is years and years up here. Got a little dust on it. I like it that way. You got the hardware from all the years of powerlifting, bodybuilding, boxing, OPB, everything in between, right? We've competed in a little bit of everything over all these years, leading as true practitioners, right, D?
That's right. Going all the way back to those the Shady Side 1997 powerlifting meet. You know,
we've been competing for almost 20 years. That's why I said we did our first meet when we were 17, and I'm still competing at 39. Dustin's still doing stuff. Like we're just always staying true to what we do, and we're always training for something, which is key.
Someone asked me the other day, because we were talking about going to Muscle Beach this year, and they said, well, when are you going to start your diet? I said, bro, I'm always in shape. I said, when you starting your diet? You know, there's never like a time where I'm not in shape or we're not working hard. So it's kind of the mindset we try to put into people's heads when they come in our gym. Now, this is one of my favorite areas of the gym right here. This is kind of like our Olympic lifting, functional training area. We got some really cool sleds. I mean, this sled right here, someone made this for us out of an old stand before, you know, with concrete blocks. So this was our first sled before sleds were kind of readily available. We got some homemade farmers handles here. We got the tire up there to, you know, slam around. Got the platforms and stuff. Got some bikes.
Really the key is whether you're trying to do a wrestling conditioning workout with the legendary Coach Myers from Ohio State, or you want to do Olympic lifting, you're coming to your powerlifting, like we have all the necessary bars that we'll go over, but having an Olympic bar all the way to a deadlift bar to things of conditioning at the highest level athletes, we literally have it all here, and that's the key.
Now, he probably didn't want to show this, but I got to show you real quick. I got to brag about my boy. Check this out, 12-time cover model, Cory G. I count right?
It's 13, but that's
13. We must have missed the 13th one.
That's all good.
We got kind of some random shots, some people that have been here over the years, you know, the high-profile athletes, Olympic athletes, pro fighters, All-Americans, everything in between.
But check out this right here, though. We got, with gold medalist Kyle Snyder. Dustin ain't got his ice on, but he got what? One national championship and 2 Big Tens?
2 Big Ten rings, yep.
Flaunting flashy rings.
I should have worn them today. I don't know. If I'd have known we were doing this fancy video, I'd have worn our rings. But. So we got some cardio equipment out here. You know, just kind of some basic stuff. You know, we're not really a machine-based gym. We're a free weight gym, but we do have some cardio equipment, some treadmills, the Stairmaster. We got the Jacob's ladder. We got a rower. We got some other functional stuff here. We got the Rogue rack, so you can do, you know, flying pull-ups. We got rings. We got the very important kind of posterior chain area right there. We got a couple glute ham raise. We got the glute bridge right there. So that's something that a lot of gyms don't have. They don't, you maybe it might not have like an actual place to do glute bridges. We got the platform for that.
If you wanted to follow a CrossFit type of workout, you could also do that here. We've got the rope, we've got the rings, you could do muscle ups, and that's what the key was. We wanted to make sure no matter what your kind of choices, or if you want to do a little bit of everything, that it's all offered here, and that's kind of the key, that you can just come and do your thing,
Here's a kind of other cool artifact I want to show you guys. So this is probably the only one of these in existence. This is a hand-painted banner from the very first Arnold Classic. If you're familiar with fitness at all, you probably have heard of the Arnold Classic, or it's now called the Arnold Sports Festival, but that is from the first one. It's 30 years old. We have the only one in existence. It was donated to us from a member that worked security at the first event, so we're kind of a really cool artifact that we got up there from back in the day. And also the only national title in Ohio State wrestling history. We got a picture of that too.
Well, we're here in Columbus, Ohio, so we're also known for having a lot of big-time Buckeyes coming through here from all sports, from major football stars to soccer to wrestling, and so you can get kind of a concept of kind of who's come through these doors, which is pretty awesome. Starting with Tommy Rollins and Maurice Claret, really.
Yeah, Tommy and Maurice were the first ones for sure. I got another piece of equipment I want to show you guys, kind of unique. I mean, this is definitely an old school thing. That, if you watch Vision Quest, you've seen the old pegboards. They're probably in every old wrestling room in America. This one, though, I actually made in my garage. I was kind of on like a little carpentry kick, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to spend $400. I just bought some plywood, liquid nails it together, and then I didn't have a drill press, so I bought a bit and just hand drilled and sanded every one of those holes, and they are perfectly spaced. Trust and believe that.
All right, so look, if you know anything about powerlifting, you probably heard of Westside Barbell before. We're one of the there's only a handful of gyms that are Westside Barbell certified. I spent a lot of time working with a lot of those guys and learning from them. And of course, we got a reverse hyper. And anybody that knows anything about powerlifting, if they walk in the gym and they see a reverse hyper, that's the first indication that you know what the hell you're doing. You'll see the other stuff we got too, but that's like the first indicator, like, oh shit, wonder if they got bands and chains too. Wonder if they got this, wonder if they got, but that's the first indicator right there.
It's kind of like when you see someone with like a teardrop tattoo, ooh, I might not want to mess with that guy. When you see a reverse hyper, it's a serious power.
This is one of my favorite things. Like when we bought out the original gym of this equipment and made it old school, this retro, like almost like Gold's Venice style straight bar stand is one of my favorite pieces that we've carried over for years.
And it was actually welded by Sean Henderson, one of our original members.
Oh yeah, it was.
He welded it like as his high school senior project or something.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, so this has a lot of history. And actually, it has right here. So it was originally, the original old school gym was first the Warrior Gym, then it became Amazing Fitness, and then we bought it and turned it into the original old school in 2003. But it still has the property of Sean Henderson Warrior Gym on there, which I think is pretty cool. Sean Henderson still, comes around some of the powerlifting meets and stuff. High-level powerlifter, West Side guy. So kind of cool. He welded this for his senior high school project.
I forgot about that. That's so cool.
Probably back in like the mid '90s or something.
One of the other pieces is kind of cool is like what I saved my money for to come up here and start my personal training business was when I was a coal miner underground. And so the coal miners showed me love, and this is actually coal mine belt line. So when you mine coal, you got to put it on a belt to get it miles outside of the coal mine. And so this has metal rods running through it. It's super heavy duty, and basically our whole floor is essentially belt line from underground.
Indestructible.
So, indestructible. So when I hollered at these guys, so I worked there, for 6 months, saved my money when I left, and I said, I need help. I've seen this stuff in the yard. Can we come back and get it? And they showed me love, and it took us 7 saw blades to go through this stuff. The concrete saw, they kept dolling them out because the shit's so crazy. It ain't going nowhere.
I can remember us having to move it. We would take vice grips, and we'd have 4 of us to move one strip of it.
One strip of it, it's so heavy. So it's pretty wild. I guarantee ain't nobody's gym got that.
So here's something kind of cool. I've worked with a lot of high school athletes. We've had a lot of athletes over the years come here. So these are just all, these t-shirts, it's all the local high schools. Going all the way back to the Ohio Valley where we're from, they're here locally, Watkins Memorial, all the way up to, Powell, Olentangy, Liberty, So these are local high schools. And then up here, we got kind of a wall of fame of our different members and athletes that have trained here. We got Beanie Wells, first round draft pick. We got Kyle Snyder, Olympic champion. We got Antonio Pittman, was a star running back for the Buckeyes and also in the NFL. We got my man Reese Humphrey, 3-time Team USA World Team member. Matt Lamson, who Cory worked with pretty extensively.
Yeah, he's a pro MLS.
Pro soccer, yeah, MLS goalie. Logan Stieber, 4-time NCAA champ and a world champion. We got the infamous, our boy Maurice Claret,
National champion.
National champion, one of the first Buckeyes that trained here with us. And my man, Lance Palmer, 4-time All-American, pro fighter. So we've had some real high-level athletes. They all love coming to train here because, they just respect the realness of the place. They come here, and everyone that's here, from kind of beginners to pros, they give maximum effort at all times. So
when I look around the weight room in general, setting the tone with the coal mining belt, in that over time we've grabbed pieces. Like for instance, the seated row over here. This was at an old world gym in the hood over on Livingston that I love. That, the one-legged hamstring curl too, and as soon as they closed the gym down, me and D went and got it.
Yeah, like the oxygen button.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's things that we have pieced together that we bought with it and that we've added to it too, which is pretty dope. We're grabbing what exactly we want.
For sure. We have stuff that was hand-me-downs from the original old school gym, all the way to stuff, elite competition stuff that we bought from Westside Barbell, from their equipment company, the ATP and stuff, the stuff we bought from, the World's Gym when they closed, the stuff that people have made, so everything really in between. I've had people ask before, like, how come some of your benches are black and some are blue and some are red? I'm like, because we've just bought them.
I don't want them all the same color. That'd be weird. Here's one of my favorite parts of old school. When you see the videos, right? No one's wearing their headphones because it's a community, right? When you go to these other gyms, that's all everybody's headphone up. No one wants to talk to nobody. It's because we got real music up in this joint. Like, do you see this right here? Like, this is what it's really about. When me and Dustin was 17, we're talking about when we open a gym, we're gonna listen to Pac, Biggie, Wu-Tang, like do it right. So like the normal volume of what's happening in here is like all the way up, right? And we wanna make sure, and plus I'll hit the phone on top of it, we wanna make sure that you're grooving with the workout, that it's got real intensity. That shit is falling by the wayside, and I hate it. There's supposed to be like an element to the gym when you go there. You're supposed to interact with each other. You learn from each other. You motivate each other. When you go to a gym where everyone is in their own world, I mean, they may think they're in the zone, but in my mind, they're out of the zone. If you've sectioned yourself off from everyone with your headphones because the music there sucks, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage. Sure. You want to talk about the boxing room, D?
Yeah. Well, first, let's show them this real quick. Now, this is a key at any real gym is you got to have heavy dumbbells. We got dumbbells all the way up to 145. So if your gym, if the dumbbells stop at 70 or 80, you might not lift at a real gym. Just kind of a heads up on that.
And we got the epic picture of Arnold, of course, above the dumbbells, which he came in and looked at once, which was awesome.
We may have a picture of Arnold in the cardio room, standing in the cardio room. That's the weightlifting equivalent of staring into like infinity mirrors. Like it goes on forever. There's Arnold in our gym, a picture of him in our gym. So I'm sure not many gyms have that. So in here, I call this the war room. This is the boxing/wrestling room. Now, if you notice, we got mats and like some wood paneling on the walls, and that's because there's been so many holes in the walls just from guys in here tussling over the years. So we get in here, a couple of days a week, and I'm old now, so I was getting in here and hit the bag. Some of my high school kids get in here and roll around a little bit. But, I've been beaten up. I've beat up many guys in here. I've been beat up myself many times, too. So this is a cool room. It just has a certain smell to it, a certain feel to it. And
shit's peeling on the walls. It's grimy as hell. That's why it's got this certain feel to it. I love it.
I love when people come here, when they first join the gym, they go, whoa, am I allowed to use the boxing room? Or is that I'm like, of course use it. It's part of the gym. Everyone should use it. Come in here and warm up, hit the bags a little bit, get a good sweat on. So definitely one of my favorite parts of the gym, for sure. Any real gym should have at least a heavy bag at the very least.
No question. So one of the most recent additions, I would say within the last year, that created hella competition in here is our drug-free members raw meat board. So this is weight class specific for powerlifting that you have to do in a meet. So the competition that this has created is unbelievable because it's bragging rights, right? We have a kind of an infamous 4 a.m. crew at Old School where it's like there's so many guys in the same weight class. So during the time when I'm here from 4 to 6 a.m., there's so much competition that it's like the guys that are trying to take and fight for that spot on the board. And so to me, that's really like really heightened a lot of people's lifts. They're competing all the time. We hold multiple meets here, which is a freaking blast. And it's like it's really created a lot of competition overall in the whole gym. I mean, Dustin had wrestling guys that have made the board. Dustin's still on the board from his bench stuff back in the day because no one's beat him yet.
Come get me, Tyler Treadway.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, step
up.
up.
Out the Tyler Treadway. So it's like, so what it done is it creates that little bit of edge that we want. Guys don't miss workouts because they know somebody's going to get them. And for me, that's changed a lot. And I love the shit talking part of it. It's actually really fun.
Well, I love it too because, I mean, if a guy wants to get on the board, they have to do it in the meet. So, like,
yes.
Anyone can be the strong guy in the gym, but, like, can you step up and do it in front of people when it counts? And I think that's a tough thing for a lot of guys.
It's amazing what the chalkboard does.
Yeah, no doubt.
As we kind of roll through here, here's what's cool. Like we said, Westside Barbell certified, but it comes down to a lot of gyms when you go to that are powerlifting specific or have that option, a lot of this stuff is locked up and you don't have it availability. So like here's all our boards right here for some of our top end bench stuff. If you understand that type of method of training. Back here towards the monolift, we have all the bands, all the chains, all this stuff is available for you as a member. And if you don't understand how to utilize it, any of us that are here that are owners or work here can help you with it. But it's like one of those things where once again, when you walk in a gym that really gets it, like most people don't have a monolift. We have 2 monolifts because you know we're training at a high level with bands, with different tensions and all that kind of stuff. And so that I think right there when people walk in, a lot of people are like, what the hell is that thing? And basically, if you don't know, now you know.
I mean, it really comes down to if you want to be, strong at an elite level, if you want to be an elite level athlete, you need to have the tools to get you there. And whether that's powerlifting, having the monolift and the bands and chains and boards available, or you're an elite athlete, you need to train somewhere that has sleds. Like if you're actually someone's doing a sled right now while we're in the middle of filming this. So Garrett's getting ready to push the sled up there. If you go to a gym that doesn't have sleds, then you're not going to progress as an athlete because that's one of the cornerstones of my training program for any type of athlete.
Yeah, different GPP, specialty bars right here, which is dope. Everything from the safety squat bar, camber bar, football bar. It's one of those things where a lot of people don't have the availability to utilize things of this nature, but this keeps the nervous system guessing. It keeps you getting stronger. It changes things up, and that's once again all available for our members, which is highly unique in the space.
I'm going to go with 2. Anytime you get to stare at a block wall, it's going to motivate you. There's something about just the way the gym looks. And one of the questions I get all the time, people say, they see the videos on Instagram. They say, why is the ceiling yellow? Why does it look like that? Tell them the story about that, G.
So basically, when we got in this building, there was like a paper bag type of like thing on the vapor barrier. It's like a vapor barrier, which we probably should have left on and sprayed, but we scraped it off. And then by hand, and then spray foam this on. So people are always tripping like it's asbestos or something, but it's just spray foam that we actually took a gun and went shh, and it took forever.
I would say it was at least a month of us doing it every day. We're up here on a lift. A lot of people don't realize that is that we meaning me and Cory, rehabbed this building ourselves. When we had the opportunity to get in here, we didn't have the money to pay contractors to do all the work, so we did everything. We ran all the electric for the lights, we hung the fans. I mean, I can remember being in here on a scissor lift with my dad and like saying like, all right, how are we gonna screw these fans into the ceiling?
Yeah.
Well, let's just figure it out, But we hand sprayed all this insulation through the whole gym. It was one of the dirtiest, nastiest jobs I've ever done. And it was one of those points when we were building the gym, which we talked a lot about this on the Old School Gym Radio podcast. I remember thinking like, is this gonna work? Is it even worth it? Because that sucked. It really did.
Like any adversity that you go through in life, there's plenty of adversity at this place, and I believe that's why we've always held tight to making it work. There was no option for failure, and now it just, I always tell people this, owning your own gym is so special, and when I walk in every day and throw my keys on the desk and know it's ours and we did this together, and you're like, it just, there's something about it. Like every lifter that's watching this video wants to feel that. I hear it every day on social media. I want to open my own gym. You should, especially if you're willing to put in the work like we have, and it's absolutely worth it.
No doubt.
Feels good, don't it, D?
For sure, brother. All right, we're going to show them anything else? What do you think? We'll show them upstairs? We got some equipment up there. We might as well show it. We got some odds and ends upstairs. like we kind of alluded to, we are, more of a free weight gym. So we have plenty of 45s here, but not a lot of machines outside of, the kind of specialty stuff like the ATP, and we do have like a seated row, lap machine, and some cables and stuff. But other than that, I mean, it's basically free weights and kind of unique pieces of equipment. We got these new dip bars, which are also kind of double as parallel bars, which I really like. So I figured we'd show you this too. We got kind of some odds and ends up here. We got the neck machine, which I love. I've been on it every day. You can't be a weightlifter with a skinny neck, Got like a couple of just random benches, hyperextension. And it's just a good place too, kind of like if you want to get away from, when there is a crowd in here, if you want to get away from the crowd and, hit some other stuff, come up here or whatever. And I actually like to come up here when it's really busy, so I can just kind of stand up here like bird's eye view and watch the gym, watch the energy in the place. It's kind of contagious. It's a cool feeling to watch from up here. So, I mean, I think that's it. The gym is what it is. This is a gym in the truest sense. So I think hopefully this gave you guys a good feel of what it's like here at Old School Gym. We'd love to have you come check it out, come train with us. We have people that come from all over the world. People have come this year from Dubai, from Canada, from all across the country. And they all say the same thing. They're like, wow, it's just got a magical feel to it.
I think the key is a lot of people are scared or think they need to be invited to come to Old School. We're here to tell you that you don't have to be invited. You're welcome. Buy the day pass online and show up and come enjoy, basically the fruits and ideas and dreams that we've put together for all these years. Some of this equipment been with us for up to almost 20 years. We've been doing this for a long time. And so we'd love to have you. We'd love to meet you.
Yeah, you don't have to be elite to come here and train at this gym. I think that's a misconception people have. We welcome, people of all abilities and walks of life, but effort is the only currency that buys respect here. If you come here, I don't care what your level is, if you come here and try hard, you're gonna have the respect of everyone in the place.
Absolutely, because effort is a choice. It doesn't matter what level it's at. We want you guys to come, so come on, check out Old School.